Hello crafters, I'm JanB and I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator. Today I'm going to show you how I decorated this copper tea tin. I've also made some cards to go inside. This is the only actual complete card, but I'm going to make it as a gift. I'm going to put 6 cards and 6 envelopes inside. There we go. As you can see, there's absolutely stacks of room in there for this. I have made progress with making my cards, but this is the first one that's finished. So I will tell you the card pieces that you're going to need to do this, and I will tell you the pieces that you need for one card. You just multiply however many cards you want to do. You may decide you'd like to do 12, which I'm sure would fit in there very easily. So the cardstock that I'm going to be using, the Designer Series Paper, is from the same DSP that this one's from, and this is Frosted Floral. I've decided to use this one because this is quite a detailed pattern, and I wondered what it would look like with a more plain design. So this piece measures 2 inches by 12 inches, which is 5 by 30.4 centimetres, and this piece measures 3/8 of an inch by 12 inches, which is 0.9 by 30.4 centimetres. And for each card you need a piece of Whisper White Cardstock, which measures 3 inches by 6 inches, which is 7.6 by 15.2 centimetres, scored and folded in half. The envelopes that I'm using I've ordered from the catalogue, and the Whisper White 3x3, and you get 40 in a pack, so excellent value that. And for this you will also need a piece of Designer Series Paper for the front, and this measures 2 3/4 inches by 2 3/4 inches, which is 7 by 7 centimetres. You will also need some Blackberry Bliss Designer Series Blackberry Bliss Cardstock, Whisper White Cardstock, Vellum Cardstock. It's difficult to say how much you're going to need because it really depends on how many cards you're going to do. So the first thing we're going to do is to decorate the actual tin, and this is a project that I like to use red sticky strip for, but I went down to see Sam and Jenny yesterday, 2 ladies in my team, and we did crafting, and we actually made the project like this that I set for our craft day when we went to on stage. We went up a day early so we could have the craft day together, and this is a tin that we made then. The only reason I've changed now is because this Designer Series Paper isn't actually available at the moment, but this is the one that we were making yesterday. I will put the details of this on my blog tomorrow when this one goes live, and I will tell you the bits that I've used to do this, and put photographs of this and the card, which I've actually left down in Basingstoke, but I will put photographs on my blog. Fortunately I already have a photograph of the tin and the card so that I can share that with you. Right, so what I'm going to do is red sticky strip, and I am going to put one piece at one end on the inside of the Designer Series Paper. Hopefully from side to side. And then on the opposite end I'm going to put a piece on the inside and the outside. When I was with Sam and Jenny yesterday, Jenny actually used Tombow to adhere this sheet to her tin, and it worked brilliantly. I'm going to be using Tombow to attach my bit up there, so you can see how that's done. You can see how this bit is done with sticky strip, and you can obviously decide which you want to do for attaching that one as well if you want to use Tombow. Right, so that's one and that one. Right, so what I'm going to do is I am going to adhere this one first, which is the one that's got the sticky on the opposite side. Now this is a tin. We sell them as packs in boxes of 4. So that is the seam on the tin, so I want that to be the back, and I want the seal here, the edging, the join, to be at the front because it will get covered up like that. Okay, so I am starting off with my seam at the back. So what I'm going to do is this one, I'm going to take this red sticky strip off, and either pop it into a little tin bucket or a piece, a small glass. It sticks like that, but beautifully in there. No more fighting. In fact, I'm going to turn this round. It doesn't really matter. It's just that I'm right-handed and I feel better working like this. Now what I want to do, I'm going to put the lid on because I want to have this central here, so that the gap I have up here is about the same as I have there. And I know, because of what I've been doing, this has got to come over further than halfway. So I am just going to eyeball this, and I am smoothing this bit out so that I can hopefully get this straight. I think that's a little bit high. So let's go down a bit lower. I think they could go a little bit higher, but I'm not going to spend too much time fussing on it. Because I'm videoing, I can't get my head right over it, but that looks pretty close. So smooth this round so that you can get it to fit as close on there as possible. And I have to say, it is a lot easier using this frosted floral rather than the Joyous Noel. This is a lot thicker than this one, and it was definitely more difficult to get this to lay flat. I mean, you can see how that's laying nice and close to the tin by me just pulling it. Right, so what we need to do, that lines up beautifully, so I'm happy with that. I'm going to lay it down. Now, not letting that bit go, I'm going to take this off, pop that onto my tin, and then I am going to smooth this over. Okay, and once I'm happy, I'm going to take this other piece off. I will take this other piece off. If it doesn't come off easily, smooth it down with your fingernail. There we go. Okay, so that's on beautifully. Now, to get my piece onto here, what I do is I get Tombow and I just put glue all over. Now I just make sure that I keep holding it inside and outside like that, and I don't have to touch the sides. Just make sure you've got some on the corners as you go round. There we go. So I just take the strip and line it up to the silver curly bit. I should have gone more in the centre there, but I'm not going to worry too much about that. Right, and then work round the corner. Smooth it round the corner. And just keep pushing that up against the silver edge there. Now you can either cut that bit off or you can put some Tombow to hold it down. I'm going to put some Tombow. There we go. Don't think it's leaking. So that's going to be the front. Can't really see where the join is on this. I thought that was the front. Oh, there it is. That's it. Okay, so that's got to go at the back. There we go. Looks alright, doesn't it? So let's see what it looks like once we start decorating it. I think do the stamping first. So I need one for the card, one for the tin, and then I need one of these. And the stamp set I've used for this is the stamp set that goes with the Designer Series paper, and it's called First Frost. So I'm using that for the top of the lid and that for there. It has a set of matching dies. So I am going to be using these for the sentiment and the layer, and I'm going to be using this one for the sprigs there. I will also be using this oval, number 2, from the Stitched Shapes Framelits. Okay, number 2 on that one. And I will also be using the scalloped oval from the Layering Ovals, and that is number 3. Right, so let's do the stamping first. And for this I am using Blackberry Bliss ink. Now I'm only actually going to do one of these because I've already prepared multiple things earlier on. That's fine. And then this one. We want to go through this way, don't we? Easier for the dies. There we go. Okay, so you need one of these plus however many cards you're going to do. So for me, I need 7 of these. But as I say, I've already prepared, I think I prepared all of mine. So that's that. I need to do the die cutting now. So I'll get my big shot over. Right, there we go. So first of all, I'm going to do these 2. So I use, out of the 2 from the frosted bouquet, I use this one for this. Yep, I've only got one. That didn't look as if it was attaching to the magnet very well. So it meant that I had the bow on my cutting mat facing upwards. So I faced it down now and it will attach a lot better. Might even cause it to jump, but we'll see. No, that's fine. And that one was with the Stitched Shape Framelit. In fact, I've cut that, I've stamped that a bit low, haven't I? Where's the cutting? Right, okay. Oh, I'll be right, I think. Maybe a little bit on a wing and a prayer, but there we go. I'm sure that'll be okay. Learn by that one. Don't stamp that one too close to the edge of your cardstock. Oh, have I? Oh no. Earlier on when I was doing this, I put that very, very thin die upside down and it really got embedded. You see that? It really got embedded in my cutting mat. Yeah, you can. It was a bit of a job to lever it out. Oh, oh my goodness, I've just about got away with that. So that's okay. And that's okay. So that one's finished with. That one's finished with. Don't need that one. So now what I need is, out of the Blackberry Bliss, I need these three. So just push that in a little bit. So that one. That one. And that one. I will take that one out, that one out, and I'm not going to move the other one because I want to run that one through a second time. It does go through fine the first time, but it is easier if you do it twice. So I normally tend to do backwards and forwards, but I don't do the easy ones backwards and forwards unless absolutely necessary. Okay, so that's those done. Okay, so that's in there, and it is so easy to get out. Just push a few bits with your paper piercer and you can see it all going down there. It's probably easier if you use your die brush. There we go. Okay, so that's lovely, I like this. Okay, so now we're going to do one with the vellum. And this one is a little bit more of a challenge to get it out of the die, but it's not a huge problem. I'll show you. Okay, so that's one, and that's two. That looks fine. So let's move this out of the way again. There we go. So with the vellum, I do try and push that first one there to get the stem out. And then I just do a few here. And then I find if I pull the stem upwards, it comes out quite easily. Okay, so I'm pulling it gently. I move my hands up, a bit more, and there we go. So that one's out. So that's those two, all of those, and that's all finished. So now we can put our tin together. So for that we need, let me bring my other bits and pieces over. Okay, so I've bought the, already done these. For the tin you need 4 in vellum and you need 4 in the Blackberry Bliss. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and I've got the others over there. Right, So first of all I'm going to pop this onto this layer, and I will use Tombow. There we go, that's that. And then put this one on here. Right, so that's okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to adhere these down first, and then I'll put my sentiment on there. Now I have tried doing this all sorts of ways, trying to use dimensionals first, or Tombow. Tombow worked well, I have to say. In fact, let's do Tombow. The other way I tried, which worked well, and that was to use snail. That worked very well. So with Tombow I just put some on the stem like that, and then I know from my tin here that it's got to come up like this, but when you're doing yours you don't have something to compare it with. If you put it there, and this is why Tombow's good, because you've got time. Okay, so you can rest that where it's going to be going and decide where you want that. You also may want to adhere some of your, I think these are berries, so I'm going to call them berries. You may want to adhere some of the berries down. I prefer them to be like floating, if you like. The one that I showed you that I did for the project, that has travelled up to Birmingham and back, and it's travelled to Basingstoke and back, and I haven't adhered all the sprigs down on that one, and it has travelled really well. Really impressed with it. So that one I'm just laying offset with the Blackberry Bliss one. Okay, so that's alright. Now I'm going to do another one on the other side. And I'll get this so that I know where. That's about right. And then another one of the vellum. I'm just going to cross it over like the other one has. I want it to go off the edge but not too much. There we go. So what I'm going to do now, make sure that they don't go walkabouts anywhere. If I can find my large size dimensionals, here we go. I'm going to take one and pop it over all of them. In fact, I haven't quite caught that one there, but I'm not going to worry. It's not going to go anywhere. And then on here, I'm going to do either side at the bottom, either side at the top, and then just to make sure the centre doesn't sink, put a little one in the middle. Right, so take the tops off. If you have trouble like that, if you press the cover down in the centre, it makes the sides spring up. It's not often that I find that necessary to do, but it's certainly a tip worth knowing. There we go. Right, so now I'm going to use my tweezers to put this, in fact, put that on, did I? To get this in the right position. Now you should find that that is going to go in between there. It's another way of helping to guide me to put this in the centre here. Now what I want is for this to come over the top and this to come over the bottom. In the centre, oops, there we go. And both sides here look quite different from each other, which I'm perfectly happy with. Okay? But you may want to go and just put a little bit of glue behind some of the bits here to hold them down. As I say, I'm not unduly worried about that. Now this one, did I use 1 or 2? Oh yeah, 2. So this was done like this, and I think I trimmed off some of the stems. Yes, let's just trim a little bit off the stems. So I'm just cutting off the bit from underneath that V. Okay, and then I'm going to adhere this down with Tombow. And as long as you make sure that you point the ends into the centre of your lid, you're going to be fine about covering it up with your sentiment. Okay, so there's that one. Just make sure you adhere them down on the, put the glue on the wrong side. Oops. That was lucky. Right, so pop that one down. Again, if you want to adhere more down than I'm doing, obviously you can. You do what you feel comfortable with. Okay, so now I've got the vellum, and that's going slightly over. Well, it's going over the Blackberry Bliss but offset. And I'm cutting the bit off there as well. So pop that right over like that. Okay, so now this one I'm going to put some dimensionals on, and I think, what did I decide on this? I think I might have decided, doesn't really matter, does it, because it's all going to go over the top anyway. Let's just do it as we would if we were going onto a card. Except if I was going on a card, I wouldn't put 4 big ones. I would put 2 smaller ones here. But I want this to anchor down as much of those sprigs as possible. Now they came off a lot easier, didn't they? Okay, so pop this on the top. I need to tilt this towards me now. And I'm just trying to get absolutely centre. And then just give that a good push, because it's got to get onto the tin if it's got any of the sprigs in the way. So there you go, there's the tin decorated. I think that looks good with the plain, fairly plain Designer Series paper. I'm not sure which one I like best. I think I just like them both. Right, let's make a card. So let's bring that back, and that, and my pieces. Okay. Right, so this one I'm going to put on with Tombow. Obviously you could use snail for this. You could use tear and tape as well. But for such a small piece I'm quite happy to use Tombow. Yeah, I don't think, sometimes when I cut these kind of designs I think that looks the wrong way up. But it can't be, I'm sure it can't be. Right, pop that in the centre. And then we pop these two together. Make sure I've got that round the right way. That's not straight. Quick, quick, quick. Not straight. That's better. Whew. Right, so that will be going on there. I'm going to put these on. And again, this is one that I'm going to be doing, put the glue on it, and then I'm going to put this in position to see where I need to pop this down. Okay, so just on the stem. And I want this to come up. In fact, let's put that in the tweezers. Yep, that's going to be fine. I just want to make sure that my sentiment is going to cover up the stem there. And again, you could put a little bit of glue underneath those if you wanted. So pop this with 4 dimensionals, 1 in each corner, and 1 baby one in the middle. Oh, I haven't put the vellum one on, have I? Right. Let's do this, do the job properly. There we go. Now for this one, I'm going to make the stem go above here, but these this side. And try not to come off the edge. Okay. So that's good. Happy with that. I think that's straight. So there we go. Again, this is the more patterned Designer Series paper, and that's the plainer one. Again, I'm not sure quite which one I prefer, if any at all. I know what I haven't done on here. I put some of our faceted gems, no, faceted dots, and they are actually in Blackberry Bliss. And I put 3 on the top as well, that's right. But I'm out almost of that size. So what I'm going to do on this one is I'm going to use the next size up. I have got 6 of those. Oops. Right, so that's that. And then I need 3 on here as well. So start off one in the centre. One to the right. And one to the left. There we go. So I've got 2 small ones and 1 large one left now of the Blackberry Bliss. So there we go, that's today's project. Hope you like it and hope you give it a try. My ladies certainly seem to be happy with the project that I'd set for them. So if I put that one up, put that one down, so that you can see top, bottom and the 2 cards. So there we go. Many thanks for joining me today. If you have any comments to make or any questions, please leave them in the box below the video. I'm always happy to help you. If you'd like to purchase any of the products that I featured here today, please click in the box below the video and there will be a link to my 24/7 online Stampin' Up shop. If you've enjoyed the video and would like to be notified each time I upload a new one, which is normally Wednesdays and Sundays, please click the subscribe button and then the I think it's a bell to say that you would like to be notified. And I'd really appreciate that. And if you want to give me a thumbs up, that's always very much appreciated too. So many thanks for joining me today. Until next time, happy crafting. Cheerio.